Hello, good morning. My name is Thani Shifal, and I'm here to teach you basic science. And I'm here to help you learn basic science in the simplest form ever. Are you ready to come along with me? Good to hear that. Please clap for yourselves. All right, before we get started into today's lesson, I have something very familiar to show you. What is this, students? Good, a toothpaste. Do you know that toothpastes are made up of fluorides and that fluorides also contain fluorine? Do you also remember that fluorine is a toxic chemical? But why do many factories include it into the toothpaste? Is it safe to use such toothpaste that has fluorine, a highly toxic chemical in it? To understand this better, let's get into today's lesson. In today's lesson, you are going to learn the topic compounds. These are the learning objectives. Number 1, you should be able to define compounds. 2, you should be able to also identify at least 5 examples of compounds and their constituent elements. Now, what are compounds? Compounds are substances that consist of 2 or more elements which are chemically combined. Now, this means that when 2, 3, 4 or more elements combine chemically, the resultant substance being produced is referred to as a compound. Now, this is a very important thing I need you to take note of. In as much as we all agree that compounds are formed from elements, they do not share the same properties as the elements that make them up. Let me repeat myself. Compounds do not have the same properties as the elements that make them up. Let me better explain this. Now, what element has this symbol? Sodium. Correct. How about this? Bolu Atife, what element has this symbol? Did I hear you say calcium, Bolu? That's not correct. Femi, please tell us. Correct, chlorine. Now, sodium is a solid element, a silvery white solid element, very reactive. Chlorine, on the other hand, is a gas. Now, when sodium and chlorine react chemically, the resulting substance being formed is referred to as a what? As what? Sodium chloride. And sodium chloride is what you and I commonly call the salt. Now, imagine the product, the compound formed from a solid metal and a gas. So this better explains that indeed compounds do not share the same properties as the constituent elements that make them up. And invariably, the question that was asked at the beginning of the lesson on whether it is safe to consume toothpaste that has fluorine in it, yes, it is very, very safe, because the moment sodium reacts with fluorine to form the compound sodium fluoride, which happens to be one of the major ingredients in our toothpaste, then we can consume the toothpaste without having a fear of consuming a toxic gas. Do we understand? I have another example of a compound to show you, and that is our common sugar. So sugar is also a compound, but in its own case, it is made up of about 3 different elements, which are, what element is this? Calcium, correct. Hydrogen. How about this? Oxygen. Beautiful. So these 3 elements combine together to make the compound sugar. So many other examples like our popular water and then calcium bicarbonate. Thank you, and see you in my next class.